Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Fangirls Assemble. We are here today to talk about Revolutionary Girl Utena. This is the special box set. Has some real chunky hardcovers. They're beautiful. And we both got this on Amazon for very discounted.
Almost 50% off.
I think it was at least 50% off.
Yeah. Mine only came with tiny little damage. So yeah. I'll take it.
I'll take it. And it made me, because it's typically $50 and we got it for I got 24.
Yeah, yep.
I think we just got lucky on Amazon.
It's still maybe that I'll check it out.
And it warmed my heart to see, because on the top here, because this is done by my Viz Media, but at the top, it still says Shoujo Beat, which was the girl version of Shonen Jump that we had for a while. We even had our own, like how Shonen Jump has those monthly magazine manga things. Well, I can't see the price.
It says it's not available on Amazon anymore. We bought them out.
We cleaned them out. I think Tina might have bought it too because I told her also.
Oh, okay, nice. The good news is though, you can still get this on InStockTrades.com, where they're going to pack it much better than Amazon. There will not be damage on your box set corners.
Absolutely.
And if you spend $50 or more, you get free shipping. I believe it's $30 something on Amazon. Still really great price. This is a really, really nice box set. Feels very nice. Looks very beautiful.
And we should show, make sure we show every bit of this.
For sure.
Love a nice box set.
Before we get off InStockTrades.com.
Yes.
Delicates, our pick of the month. It's currently 45% off on there. I believe it's $8 and some change. I still have to order mine. It is the sequel to Sheets, and I'm very excited.
Yeah. All right, look at these hunky boys.
They're chonkers.
This is all Utena. Not counting the, I guess, after the Revolution.
Oh, yeah. There's one random volume, right?
It's very soft. Yeah, very pretty roses on the back. Look how these are cute.
They are very cute.
Very, very cute. I love
the black spines, too.
I
looks
know.
Good on a shelf.
It's sexy.
It's nice.
It's sexy. And not only that, but there's a little risque poster that comes in it, which I really like. I'll put it in my very sapphic cosplay room. That one day my mom is going to walk in and be like, okay, I see a trend in here. Are we going to talk about this? And if anything makes her wonder, it's
a poster like that.
Don't worry, guys. This is anime world, so there's no nipples.
Yeah, plus we can't get demonetized because we don't make money.
We don't make money. Your super chats don't go to us, so
neither do the ads.
Donate directly to our. I don't know. Do you have a Ko-fi? We should make a Fangirls Ko-fi.
No, we should do something though, so we can say that.
It can go towards snacks whenever Chris and I get to hang out and have a sleepover.
Yeah, we need.
Which is my entire goal of when you're when you're done, I'm just gonna show up and be like, I brought snacks. We're making a blanket fort.
Got my first shot yesterday. My arm hurts. Great. It's a nice feeling though. It's a nice hurt. I like it.
Right? It's just good.
Yeah.
So Utena. So I guess
there's a lot to talk about. And before we get into it, I do want to mention. So Tyler, he says he's a longtime viewer, first time caller. I love that.
Hi.
And it's funny. Jess was just talking about how good of a guy you were, actually. So awesome, you're here, Tyler. Appreciate it.
I hope you enjoy us talking about Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Kenneth is here. What's up, Kenneth? Mary, so happy Mary's here. And Freddie, of course.
Fellow girl. Hayden. Aria.
All the greats are here. Thank you for joining us.
It's a very nice box set.
It's so pretty.
Freddie says, I'll donate snacks then. Hashtag save the something. Maddie, in your view, how come certain writers don't get Superman like Snyder, etc.? I think it's just because I think certain writers want to make things dark. It fits their writing style. I think Snyder has a certain writing style, right? Which is fine. That's his stylistic choice. But it doesn't lend itself to very warm, kind, open-hearted characters like him, I think, in my personal opinion. So to me, I want a hokey Superman. I want him to be just unrecognizable when you see him as Clark, because he's clumsy and dorky and just sweet.
I can appreciate that.
That's what I want. What up, weebs?
Yay, Gia.
Hi, Gia. Good evening. So, quick backstory. This is my first time reading Utena, except for like, I think a couple excerpts that were in Manga, which is like a magazine forever ago. I think that's what it was called. But I grew up watching Utena because my local movie warehouse rental place, my parents let me like rent whatever anime I wanted because it's cartoons, so it's fine.
That could
and
go
so
bad.
it did.
Okay,
I
good.
watched a lot of things I should not have been allowed to, but I think I'm a very mature kid. You know, basically single child. They were like, whatever. But anyways, and Utena was really important to me, both the TV show and especially the movie that followed it, which is also in here. So like, Utena was my like one of my heroes growing up. I just wanted to be Utena, and they don't push as much in here as they did in the show. They very much push it, where they're like, she wants to be a prince. She was saved by a prince. Instead of wanting to be a princess to be saved, she wanted to be just like him. And she wanted to be a prince. And she wanted to save the day. And I was like, yes, I want to be Utena. And still dream cosplay. Like, Utena was my everything. So that's my quick Utena backstory. And I think last week or week before, you had mentioned that somebody told you that this is very different. There's some differences between this and the anime, and that is true.
I made the mistake of like glancing at some reviews. There's a lot of people angry, which is understandable. But the biggest thing that is a clear difference, who a lot of people are mad about, and I'm mad about too. Even though I haven't seen the anime, I'm also mad about it. Which I think we should go ahead and say, right?
Let's go and talk about it. So,
well,
Utena is very much regarded in the anime community as like one of the first like big lesbian sapphic relationships. Like people like, oh, Utena and Anthe. And I have gifts prepared, which I never do. But I mean, these women are in love. And so, yeah. So like we both went in this like, oh yeah, gay. And it's not really.
No. And in fact, I don't know how true it is. I didn't dig deep into it, but some people say, so this is an adaptation of the anime. This didn't come first. Apparently,
okay. See, I didn't know that either. I've never looked into it.
And according to what else I've read, again, that could be wrong. I don't know. Somebody correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read. And I guess the person who adapted it, some people say was anti-gay, which is horrible. Now I'm like, we're talking about how pretty these books are, and I'm kind of mad about it, but that doesn't take away from how pretty they are.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Like, and I just saw that kind of thrown around like once. I'm not sure how real that is.
I wonder if it's true.
So maybe someone in the chat knows more. I don't know. We should look into it more. But at least, certainly, they're just friends in this.
Oh, they are wicked, just platonic.
Yeah.
In this book,
I was bummed.
I know, because I kept thinking it would switch over. Because I know what I've sold this to you as like, oh, Utena is gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially like, I'm excited. I'm kind of glad we went ahead and read this, because eventually, probably next month, we read Rose of Versailles. People always think like, okay, there's Rose of Versailles. It's like this like like evolution chart.
That's what I've heard too. Yeah.
And it's like that one Tezuka thing with that like princess who becomes a prince, and then it's Rose of Versailles, and then it's Utena, and then it's whatever else. Always. But yeah, this is, and I still enjoyed it. But I kept like, I had a hard time fully attaching, because in this one, she's very much like, I guess we should talk about instead of talking about the things, we should describe what this book is. People don't know. So, Utena, as a quickest kind of description as I can give it, basically, in Utena's youth, she's saved by some prince. And he's licked her tears. He kept writing Licky Lick a Man. That was weird.
Can we just...
Why did they call her Licky Lick a Man? Why did they write that?
They kept saying it too. Mr. Licky Lick. And I hated it Every
That translation's weird.
it made me wonder about the translation, and it also made me wonder about what the hell I was reading. I started it and I was like, you're sure saying licky lick a lot. And also she's like a kid and he's like much older and he's straight licking her tears. And I know this isn't selling the book for anyone watching. People have tuned out at this point. But like
it is still very good. I do want to say that.
And they get beyond that and they stop saying licky lick, which is a blast. I'm glad.
So anyways, back on. So this guy saves her when she's young. She's crying. He helps her out. And so for like her entire adolescence until high school, she has this like, I know. She has this like beautiful image of him. Like, this is my prince. This is the person I'm in love with. And she keeps getting letters with like the signal that was on the ring that he gave her. And it leads her to this high school in Sweden, I think.
This weird academy.
Oh, Tory Academy, I think, or whatever. But anyways, so she gets there looking for him. That's her whole purpose, really. She's a very like tomboyish kind of girl. She makes her own rules. She wears the boys' uniform. She's very sportsy.
And people like gasp at it.
Because she's
love her.
Yeah, I love her. You've got, oh man, the anime does such a good job. But anyways, she gets there and there's like a duel club basically that's in the student council. And she unknowingly gets there because she wants to defend her friend who is obviously in love with her. And she ends up being in this duel. She just duels this guy and she's like, hey, you keep treating your girlfriend really weird and beating her up. And also you were mean to my friend who loves you. So like, I'm going to have to fight you now. And she fights him and wins. And she ends up like his girlfriend, they give her to Utena. She's the Rose Bride. And we learned that whoever wins at the duels like is betrothed to the Rose Bride. She is your Rose Bride.
It's a real weird fantasy element to it.
And you're able to pull a sword out of her.
Yeah, because that's normal.
Yeah,
there's an upside down castle.
There's an upside down castle. So it's maybe the normal high school thing. Ever like the higher ups of the higher ups, we don't care about the rest of the school. It's all about like Utena staying with Anthe as the Rose Bride, and somehow her winning these duels is supposed to bring the castle down more and allow her to meet her prince, who is believed to be in this castle above them. And there's the rest of the student council, all of their own like hang-ups, but they all have to duel her. And she's dealing with Anthe, her Rose Bride, who basically is framed as like not having no will. She just follows along to whoever has won her, or so we think. And it's all in the purpose of what, the end of the world? World's end?
World's End,
yeah. World's End.
Yeah. Who's a guy.
Yeah. So they have to.
They call him that.
And there's some great power. So whoever is the final duelist gets to meet World's End and is able to get a special power and create a revolution through the world. Mm-hmm. Now, they don't describe what that is.
No, other than a revolution.
Yeah. And that's the main thing. But then there's like little things behind each character motivation, things that we get into. But let me real quick. Tyler's coming up with the questions. So this story and art is by Chiho Saito, who adapted the anime by Bay Papas, which is a studio. So it's like a group studio that came up with Revolutionary Girl Utena. And would you recommend this box set as a good introductory point? I mean, for this, yeah, I think moreover, I'd recommend the anime if you like anime, personally. I think the anime is really good. It's very funny. And you get a lot more time with all the characters, too. And Utena is one of those anime that does a really good job at giving you fun filler episodes. A lot of their sidekick, Choo Choo, who's a monkey. I love him.
I love Choo Choo.
But I also think this is very beautiful. So, like, one, it's great to collect. I still think it's a good story. I like the art. It's good introductory really for this. Thick. Yeah, it's just nice. It's just really nice.
I'm touching it.
Is this just normal in this universe, or is it like a little known thing that Utena found out? Sounds like it has mild isekai elements, if so. So it's a very little known thing. So, like, basically they have a normal high school, normal as in like very hoity-toity, like
a prep academy.
Yeah, like a boarding school type of deal. But it's just the members of the student council that know about this dueling ring or whatever. And you can only duel for the Rosebud if you have the special ring. And it's supposed to give you great power, but only those in that circle know about it. So it's like 6 people.
Yeah.
Utena just happened to already have the ring. So they're all like,
because
wait.
Of the guy
because of the guy.
Got it. You know, Licky Lick.
Yeah. Isn't Licky Lick a line in the song Informer? Oh, Lord. So yeah, it's the plot can be simplistic, but also very, very complicated. Because while she's going through here, right, she's also trying to figure out who her prince is, which I love anime tropes of like, this guy I met when I was younger, and we know what the guy looks like. We know he has short hair, and yet Toga, long-haired, handsome boy, playboy, he tries like, oh, I'm your prince, of course. And she's like, oh, you are? So Utena fell for him hard.
Sometimes.
I was like, no, what is this?
I was like, stop it.
Utena, no.
During the shots of like her prince, Mr. Licky Lick, he was always like in shadows.
Yeah.
So you could tell there was short hair. And then Anthe has short hair. So I kept being like, is it gonna be? Like, that's where my head was.
I know.
And it didn't happen.
No.
But
and so eventually we figure out this is gonna have spoilers. But I think this is the kind of thing that you're not gonna feel really spoiled about.
I agree.
I couldn't spoil it if I wanted to.
There's so much here that like we can say whatever, and I don't think it's gonna even.
Yeah. And then eventually Utena meets Anthe's older brother, who looks just like her prince, basically.
With like a long rat tail.
Yeah.
I was like, who is this?
I wish I downloaded the GIF of him in the anime. It's so good. There's somebody dumb him on a car with like his shirt coming up. And his hair. Oh God, it's so good. But yeah, and then she really falls for him, and there's this big issue because she's like, "Oh man, but I love this guy. I love Dios." So they figure that out. The name is of the prince in the sky.
Normal things.
I don't remember any spoilers. So much happening. I still don't even know if I have full grasp of what the fuck is going on.
Same.
Honestly,
I read it all, and same.
Well, and I've watched all of Utena. I still one of my favorites. I can tell you that this is more digestible than the anime, which I like more. I'll tell you, I told Kristan already, but I was really surprised that no one turned into a car. Now you might think, Maddie, that's a weird joke to make. I'm not joking. This is a scene from the anime. Utena absolutely turns into a car. There's also one episode that a side character who's not in this, which breaks my heart because she's so good, turns into a cow. There's a whole episode.
What? Okay, I have to watch this now.
It's so good. It's so good.
I have to.
Anyway, sorry, that detracts from it. God, I don't know what to say about it.
Well, and so the story like ends, and then there's this whole like thing in the back half of the second book. I'm just smacking things now. I'm trying to find it. That I didn't understand. It was the extra stories, right, that you were talking about before.
Yeah. So because the story ends and it feels
wasn't part of the main story, right? Like,
no.
Was it a different universe? Like I was confused.
It must be a different universe. So basically, okay, for people at home. So the story ends about, we'll say, halfway through volume 2, basically. Mm-hmm. And what you get here is that once it ends, you get a short little epilogue of what's going on with Anthe and everybody at school. I won't spoil what happens, but just a little ending that makes you kind of hopeful that there's going to be more. I guess there is in like the aftermath or whatever. And then that ends there. So I was like, oh, what is going to happen the rest of the book? So then they just include some extra, like, I guess, side stories So you get some like a few side stories with Jury, who is a duelist that does not duel Utena in the book. I don't understand until that one side story, but not in the main story.
I didn't get that either. Because they were like immediately like enemies.
Yeah, because she liked Toga. I don't even remember that. I don't think that happens in the story.
Threaten duels a lot.
I'm pretty sure Jury's gay. But anyways. Yes, so this is the full main story. I think there is another like epilogue book. I haven't read it though, so I can't speak to it. But this does self-contain the whole thing. These 2 books. Okay, anyways, so we get a couple side stories that are set in the main universe, but before the ending. I guess they just have a good place to put them, and they wanted to give you some extra like side story character goodness. And then they give you a retelling of the story with a different art style and almost like a different universe. And this is gonna sound so dumb, and I don't know which came first, but it mirrors the Utena movie. So Anthe has long hair. She's much more like in the main story, she's very timid. In the adolescence of Utena, which is like the last retelling in this book, she's more promiscuous. She just kind of like throw herself at Utena a little bit. And you get more side story stuff with Toga. So Utena's like whole backstory kind of changes-ish. And she and Toga used to date and were in love.
It's like a fan fiction of the book. That's what it felt like to me.
It's a fan fiction of the book, basically.
Wait, suddenly there's a fanfic back here where personalities are like swapped and changed, and one girl has short hair now instead of long hair like the other girl. Like it was weird.
Yeah, like Utena has short hair. Yeah, they flip hairstyles. Utena like really does look more so like a man, like it dresses more masculine. Which in the movie, oh God, I want to watch the movie with you. It's so beautiful. It's confusing, but it's beautiful. And they put in some like really problematic elements for Toga's backstory, which is really sad. Just some stuff happened when he was a kid. I don't need to tell you the rest. You can just assume. And then stuff between Anthe and her brother, which is gross.
Which there were like bits of that anyway. Like even Toga being a problem at the beginning anyway, right? And I was like, you shouldn't fall for him. He's a terrible person. Like, what are you doing, right?
Yeah. Well, they went light on the twins. The twin, like the duelist who has like a twin sister. They went light on that.
Oh yeah, because she was like.
It goes heavier in the anime because she's into her brother. I'm just saying.
It's not good.
It's 90s anime. I don't know what to tell you. I can't defend it. Yeah. If I had to make it like the shortest summary, it's just like a woman who has to basically fight for the honor of this princess who's tied to a sword. And whoever wins the princess gets a key to like a huge power.
Yeah, and she's stuck in a really bad situation, and it's like only Utena gives a crap that she's stuck in this bad situation. So she's like, I want to get you out of this. You shouldn't be like stuck as a rose bride with like emotions and feelings, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that aspect. And her only friend, the princess's only friend, is Choo Choo the monkey, and he made my heart. I love him.
I do appreciate at the end of Volume 1 they gave you some Choo Choo side stories.
Yeah, that was nice.
Because that's important. I need to download a Choo Choo picture to show everybody. That's important. I love Choo Choo. He's so cute. Little monkey. He's less pudgy in the oh my god, that cow picture. I'm down with that too. It's a whole episode. This girl's a cow. Which has a fever dream. I swear. Look at Choo Choo.
Oh.
Look at him. It's her best friend.
He has a tie.
I love him. Yeah. So, wait, is this series sexually explicit? Does it depict assault? That's usually a big no for me. No,
there's some smacking. People get smacked a lot.
Yeah, and there's some like sexual undertones. They do, and like there's some situations where it feels a little inferred, but it's never
nothing explicit.
No.
That poster really makes you think otherwise, but it's not.
Yeah, no. So how do you feel about because I have nostalgia and background going into this, and you have none, so I can't. I'm curious,
especially at the beginning with Mr. Licky Lick, which I'd love to stop saying, but I can't. That was like kind of horrific for me. I was like, this is the worst thing you're saying. You keep saying it, and also you keep calling him this. In the beginning, like it was her and her like best male friend, and he loved her, and she was just like, nah, like, and that was the whole thing. And he was like, well, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, because he liked her, and she's like, I can't like you because I've been in love with this guy forever, and he's like, that's probably not real.
Yeah.
But he helps her anyways, which feels like a Netflix original movie.
Yeah, I thought it was like he was mostly really sweet, from what I remember. Unless
it's wicked not in the anime. I was very confused. It starts with her at the school. Her having a mom. I assumed that no one actually existed outside of the school, and I still do.
Well, and pretty much no one does, because even like you kind of learn about her in this friendship, and you kind of feel for the guy, and then she's like, "Peace, I'm going to the school," and you never see him again.
And when they start in the school, she's already been there for 6 months.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
So I don't understand how time works in these books at all. I don't. That was one thing where I was like, all right. And it's one of those things you just have to keep going with it. There's some dude called World's in. All right. Why? What's the revolution? You're not going to ever know. What's the upside down castle? Why is everybody staring at it? Are you afraid it's going to fall on you? Okay. Why is the sword coming out of her chest? There was constant confusion in my head, but I also couldn't stop reading it. Like, I read it really fast. It is a speedy read, and I also kept feeling the book quality, and it was very nice.
That's a beautiful book. I think it's an easy story to get sucked into, I guess. Like, even though there's some things changed in here that take away some of the things I really liked about the anime, I still really enjoyed reading it. I still love following Utena. I think she's so great. Seeing her fall too hard for Akio upset me a little bit because that's not her. Yeah. But I was like, okay, whatever. Toga, sure. But like, okay, we're going a little too hard.
Although everyone around her like questioned that too, right? They were kind of like, "This isn't you."
Hey,
which is kind of cool, right? It's
yeah.
Like, you're not a trope. What are you doing? And I did love the what was it, chili powder side story of the Choo Choo.
Yeah, it was cute when they switched bodies. That's in the anime too.
Yeah, that was really fun. So I would like more of that. I would like a whole volume of like side stories with Choo Choo and his adventures.
And I will say that like the anime is much more like that. So a lot more goofy side story things. It's a lot gayer. And I don't mean just for Uta and Anthe, but like for other characters too. Because Juri is kind of gay. Obviously Uta's best friend likes her. We do get a little too heavy into the twins. The twins that twin sister likes, she's in love with her brother.
Yeah, there is a hint of that. And
there's some weird undertones too with Anthe and her brother, but you can't always tell how much is there, how much is it like a weird power dynamic thing. But it does feel kind of Game of Thronesy. But they never show anything. It's just sort of like implied. Yeah.
It's just like even in the dialogue, you're like, oh, that's weird. Okay, keep going. There were definitely moments, but it was overall just fun because it was so ridiculous, I think.
And if they didn't rely on like the fencing technique, it was just like did it.
Yep. Yeah, they were like, we're not going to teach you stuff. This isn't Fence the comic, which is amazing.
So good. Carly said, I think Chiyo Saito is less into depicting LGBT stuff according to some interviews. That comes across.
It's a bummer.
Because it's a very different feel. And the anime does flesh out Utena and Anthe a lot more, not just romantically, but as growing friends. because you get more time with her. They do this well in the book too, because Anthony, when she meets her, has like no free will basically, or at least she's just given it up.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, okay, I'm married. Like I'm your bride, so I'm just gonna take care of you. And Boots is like, you're my friend. You don't do any of that stuff. Don't call me lady. We can just.
Which that's
cool.
a big thing too. What Tyler said, he said, oh, "Okay, good." When you said they're in bad situations, that's what I was worried you meant. You know, at the beginning, Anthe is in like she's in a bad situation, kind of like that, like right, like because
with Sionji.
Yeah. You don't.
He like slaps her.
Yeah.
And
so, like that's not great. You don't see anything more than that. You just know that like every ounce of being is just kind of stripped from her because she's like, this is my role. I am the Rose Bride, the end. Like, I'm not going to care about things. Like, this is how I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have emotions. I have one friend. He's a monkey. Like, so you really feel for her. And, you know, it is even though it's less gay than the anime, I love the dynamic between Utena and her because Utena kept being like, hey, you're a human. Like, you got to feel stuff. And you deserve to feel stuff. And you shouldn't be everybody's bride and just do whatever they want you to do. Like, nah, that's not how this works. That's not how life works. So that's a really nice story. I liked that.
Yeah, and I love how they grow and eventually, you know, she does feel more comfortable with herself. And at the end of it, you can tell she's like a whole different person. She's like living on her own, doing stuff, and she is completely in control of her own things and happy. And I love seeing that because Utena shows up and she's like, I do what I want. I dress how I want. I'm the prince. I play basketball. I'm really cool. And it's just nice to see that switch. I loved this. I mean, like I still love following it. There's some things that changed, but like, gosh, this book is beautiful. I still enjoyed everybody. I like the art style a lot. It's still funny, like the way this expressions.
Absolutely. And you know, it's interesting because usually with comics or any kind of books, if I'm at all confused, I'm mad about it and I don't have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something about this form of confusion that it was like, okay, I'm still following this story, even though a lot of it doesn't make sense.
No, I agree.
But I'm embracing that in this weird world because there's something about these characters that I'm still interested in. I still want to know what happens. And the main character, she is great. Like, you want to know more. You want to see what happens with her. You're rooting for her. Even though you're like, who's this guy? What's this? What's going on? What's with the castle? Like, I'm still okay, I'm in. I'm still in.
Because, like, the main story is simplistic enough at the root of it that it's still fine to follow. And these characters do feel very, like, dynamic still. That I'm like, okay. And it's just cool. It's just so cool, you know? How could you not? So cool.
I can't help but think about Clover after reading this. Which I'm not even...
You didn't understand it. Okay. You shouldn't get it.
That's right. My bad.
Oh, yeah, and that overcomplicated itself for no reason and didn't add to the story.
And there's a difference there, right? Because also those characters, we didn't really learn much. There was no development. Versus like story, you follow these characters, they change and grow, and they mean something to the story. Even if you're like, what's the story? Like, it doesn't really matter. Versus Clover, I felt nothing really happened. And
no.
It was complicated for no reason.
Yeah. And that shows the difference.
I don't mean to compare them. It's just like in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's a confusing story I don't want to deal with again. This one I will.
And man, I'm still bummed about that too because it makes me, after reading Clover, I'm less apt to go ahead and buy a clamp book I haven't read in a while. If it's not like Cardcaptor or something or Chobits or whatever, but like, I saw they have Wish out, like a special edition or whatever, and I was like, oh, I don't know now because like Clover was just like not great.
I'm with you.
It sounds like the drawing point is definitely the characters over story. Yeah, because the story, I mean, like it's interesting, but you're never going to fully understand everything.
And maybe that's a good point, Tyler, because I am such a character person, right? Like that's why I love Buffy. yes, there's stuff happening, and that's cool. But like, I care about the characters more. I want the dialogue. I want feel. Like we've talked about it a million times. I want to see the X-Men go to the grocery store and shop and talk about things. I don't need you to fight, Sentinels or whatever right now. I just want to see you interact with each other. That's what I care about.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really, there's a castle in the sky. Okay. But like, what are your feelings about things?
Yeah, and that's all it is. Like,
Yeah.
the whole premise of like Utena the animation, Utena the movie, and then this is just Utena's new at school, meets Anthe. Anthe's like, I'm a Rose Bride. I just do whatever the person who has me wants me to do. And she's like, no, saves Utena, or saves Anthe, fights for her. They team up at the end. There's some big power, and they create their own revolution. Again, the difference is in this, there's no car. I don't understand. But then again, I don't understand the car.
No, when you said that, I was like, what's happening?
I still love it's the best thing to bring up because who's going to believe that? I'm going to upload this other picture that's from a real episode of this anime. This is a real.
What is happening? Is that Choo-Choo in his mouth?
Yeah, that's Choo-Choo.
Oh.
And that's a girl that goes to the school.
Oh.
She's not in the book. It makes me so sad because I love her. She's like that. You're like, oh, ho, 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 that type.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, also the show has 2 narrators that are really funny. And they look like they're shadow puppets almost because they're just like outlines of these girls, but you can see like their school outfits in color. But the rest of them is just like a black outline. And they just have funny commentary for each episode.
I love this. I need to
so
watch it.
Good. But the manga's still good, I promise. This is my favorite cow now. I really don't know much about manga and was wondering how the translation to English is handled, whether the writer does it or has a say, or how different the story may be to the original. Honestly, it really just depends. A lot of places, your author isn't going to have any involvement in that. And we've seen that a lot because a lot of these translations do get updated. So like some of these books that I read when I was younger didn't have great translations and then were retranslated later on when they were re-released to be more accurate. Looking at like stuff like One Piece, right, with Zolo. And that took years. I'm trying to give other examples, but I can't, none of it comes to mind. But even like in the early days when they thought Americans aren't going to know how to read this. And so they did like have to move stuff around, like and flip things to help American audiences. And they don't do that anymore.
I'm so glad.
Carly says, I could watch Utena a million times and still find something new. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially because in the show, there's a lot of like metaphors everywhere for things. So you like catch on. Sorry. My work messages. What causes them to transform into cars and cows?
A great question.
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I know that she turns into a car because they're paving a new world. Doesn't make sense.
Is that just like a bit?
They're just like make it out, and then she's like,
keep coming back. No. Does she keep doing the car thing?
No, that's how it ends. That's the end of the show.
Oh no!
I'm sorry, spoiler. There's stuff around it that helps things. Hannah! Goodbye, Hannah! Elliot goes, yayo, yayo, which is that One Piece theme song. They pave the new world. They need cars for the pavement, obviously.
That's a good one.
There's a big fuss on Twitter recently about translations. I believe it was about My Hero Academia in particular. It can be a hard business because a big portion of translations is interpretation. Yeah, I mean, there's no easy way, especially because, like, if you translate everything exactly, it won't always make sense, especially if it's, like, just speaking of Japanese and things, like, certain translations wouldn't work because the pun wouldn't work or the intonation wouldn't work. It makes more sense to translate into like a joke or style that would make more sense to an English audience. And I'm fine with that because sometimes it just makes more sense. Like you're not going to get the humor if you don't know Japanese.
Yeah.
So like I can watch something in Japanese, and be like, oh, this is really funny. And then if somebody's with me or just reading the subtitles, it's going to be lost on them. I don't know what's wrong with me, but all I remember is Dueling Gaze and Magical Castle. That's all you need to know.
It sounds like that's all there was, other
That's
than the
it.
car.
I'm trying to think of, so this team, Bay Papas, is like 5 different members that made this. So it's screenwriter Yoji Enokido, animator Shinya Hasegawa, director Kunihiko Ikuhara, planner Yuichiro Oguro, and manga artist Chiyo Saito. So I'm trying to remember, one of these people has gone on to make a bunch of really weird. Oh, there we go. So the director, Kunihiko Ikuhara, also made another gay anime. It's called Yuri Kuma Arashi, and I don't know if there's a manga for it or not, but I always call it Yuri Bears. There are girls with bear ears and bear paws that matching magical girl outfits. I don't know what it's about, and they're gay. I don't know anything else.
I've 100% seen that manga.
Okay, I want to read it. And he's also made Saranzanmai, which is like my favorite anime of 2 years ago, where it's like 3 boys that become Kappa and have to save people, and they do that by going into their butts and then getting they're so
tell me about this one. Yeah.
So the person who made this is very like, he's known to do these very crazy things that have like that are really good. Because if you explain Utena, if you explain his other works like Yuri Bears or Saranzanmai, people are gonna be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And all I can do is be like, "Trust me, listen, it's so good, though. It's so." Gio gets it. I cried watching Saranzanmai. How do you say that you cried about a show with 3 boys that turn to Kappa and go in butts? It's a very good show. I almost picked up the like light novel at the bookstore. But I'm glad that you liked it enough to like be interested in watching.
Oh, definitely. I'm not unhappy with my purchase, unlike other things we've read in the past that we didn't understand. But
I was that way last night. Because like we did a live show and we did a X-Men Disassembled. And it's been a while since I really, really didn't like a book. I really didn't like that.
I need to watch that.
It's really funny. I think it was a good show.
I like when, I mean, it's always a good show when you don't like a book, right? Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, you're like me, like we rarely don't like things. So when we don't like things, we really don't like things.
Oh, absolutely. And when we don't like things, people are really upset about it.
Oh my gosh, people get so angry at us. I
got a comment on yesterday's video that was like, this is to encourage new readers to read things. And I was like, no, that's not, it's a review show, dude. I read it an hour before this. I don't like read books and then do the show. No.
I mean, we try to be positive and we try to pick things we think we're going to like, of course.
But sometimes it's no longer Human or Clover.
Yeah.
Or Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yep.
But this, I liked it. Oh, it's so pretty. And for like $24, how much we spent on it. This is so worth it.
It is like soft. I don't know how to explain this.
It's so pretty.
It's so soft.
It's so fancy.
It's very nice.
Now I'm just really excited for us to read Rose of Versailles, because now I'm just excited to read more like dueling ladies.
Yeah, 100%. And I read the first volume and it's great. And I could see where the inspiration comes from, for sure. The 4th volume just came out. And there's going to be 5 total. And I think the 5th one is side stories. Oh, yeah.
So, we're going to read it once all that comes out.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can get this Yuri book, this Yuri Bear book.
I remember seeing it on Right Stuff, and I was tempted by it.
Oh, so this is the same situation. So I guess the manga comes out after for a lot of this person's stuff.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's kind of, because usually it's the opposite. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, come play once, after you're vaccinated, come over and play the Rose of Versailles pachinko machine.
Would love to.
If the numbers land a certain way, you get a whole little animated scene at the top.
How exciting. That's exciting.
It's very cool.
Now that I know where it comes from, it's even more exciting, and I'm sure you're gonna feel the same, right?
Yeah, because I've seen like a few episodes, I think, and that's it. But that's enough for me. I was like, I'm in.
We love Oscar. That's all we know. You know.
She's so cool.
Come on.
I think she's the coolest.
Her name's Oscar. That's
I
awesome.
know. Let me look up this. That whole anime for just $22. Okay, there's only 3 books. Yuri Bear Storm is what the manga is called.
Okay.
I only see 1 volume on Amazon, though.
Oh wait.
Oh, no, never mind. I see all 3. Okay, we're good.
Did you check Comixology?
No, I didn't. I should. It's a Tokyo Pop, so maybe. That's true. Our pachinko machine is so loud, and that's after Elliot's already taken off taking out half of the speakers. And it's still like
That's crazy.
so loud. Maddie, getting back to what you said earlier, I think Donner, Superman, Smallville, Clark Kent, and Superman, Lois Superman have gotten Superman right more than Zack Snyder. Absolutely agree. I think the Superman and Superman Lois right now is really good. Granted, he's a dad. And that's what you should do with Superman. If you're worried about people not connecting, make him a dad. But yeah, I think those were right. Those are good. Just make him, like he's from the South. People like hope. They just want to be like, they're not going to like it unless it's edgy. No. Give him hope. Make Batman a dork. He is a dork.
See, that's what I want. That sounds fantastic to me. People would riot in the streets, I think. But
I know.
that'd be great. At least how about one Black Label book? I know it's like the opposite of what Black Label probably is, but
I know.
I'd read it.
I know.
Or how about just a young adult book?
Yeah.
Give me some nerdy Bruce.
I would love it. Because I like him when he's with his family. And I recognize when people like the different stuff. It's just my kind of superhero stuff I like is the fun stuff. Like, I want it to feel hopeful. There's a reason why I love Thor Ragnarok. I don't care that people don't like it as much. I think
the best.
It's so much fun.
Those people are wrong. It's the best.
Yeah, and I can do an edgy superhero movie every once in a while, but I don't want it to be all that it is. I think that's at some point you lose it, right? Because you're like, no, people don't take superhero seriously. We have to make it edgy. No, maybe 1 out of 10. But all of them,
not everything's Heath Ledger's Joker, okay?
Yeah, and that was very cool. We got The Dark Knight for 3 movies. I'm done.
Can't do it for more. Yeah.
No, yeah, just
I don't have it in me.
Give me Batman and all the Robins, where he's doing his best, but he's a little disgruntled because his kids suck sometimes.
Yeah.
Perfect movie.
Yeah. Come on.
And they all go to the burger joint together that's named after him.
And they're going to grocery shop. This is what...
And they're going to coach him on his date with Catwoman.
Come on.
Yeah. They're going to teach him about Snapchat.
Yeah. They're going to teach him what Stan means. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has slurping all of this is slang from Brother Eye. He just has to...
Yeah.
So he's takes little notes okay, today Damien said Stan and ship. What does that mean?
What is Stan? Can I just sidebar Nation right now? Drew Barrymore has a talk show now. I don't know if you're aware.
I'm not.
It's syndication, so we air it where I work, and so I have to see it a lot. It's not the best talk show, but she's kind of lovely, right?
Well, I love her.
She's lovely. And Ross Matthews is on there a lot, and I adore him. Mm-hmm. He's my favorite. So there's good aspects to it, but there's a segment she does. I need people to look this up on YouTube because it's real. Where she talks about, I believe it's called, she named it, Drew Stans Stains.
No.
She loves getting stains out of stuff so much. that she made a segment called Drew Stans Stains, as if she's a stan. Which doesn't even make sense because she just likes getting stuff out of stains. When I first saw that, Reed and I found it on YouTube and we fell over. It's the funniest thing just because it exists and she says stains with all her heart. Okay? She's not messing around. Drew stains. I just had to throw that in there. It's worth a watch. Or is it? It's not. But
oh my god. That's so good.
It's crazy.
Where's that comic book?
Right.
It's such an old lady thing to do. It's like your mom, like, oh, mom, stop. It's like all those millennials that make the whole weird, like, where they sing songs about how they're gonna keep their skinny jeans and like side part or whatever. It's like the same level. Yeah. Just as embarrassing.
Yes. And I thought this was like a segment toward the beginning of her show, and her show's been around since last year. I thought it wasn't going to stick around. I was putting in that show today. She's standing stains again. So it's a lot.
Very more or less. I love you. Oh man. I'm trying to think of what else I've been reading. What's happened in the world? Have you watched the Snyder Cut? Are you going to?
No.
Okay, good.
I mean,
don't.
I just, you were lovely when you invited me to watch with you, but I was like, look, I didn't even watch the original. I definitely don't want to add 2 hours to it.
It's very long.
It's too much. I can't do it.
Oh, what else has happened? I went to the bookstore yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't get too much, but I did buy the newest volume of Witch Hat Atelier because I'm going to keep up with that forever.
Good.
And I almost bought Amanda's Cat Volume 3, but I don't have Volume 2. So I was like, I can't.
What bookstore?
Joseph Beth.
Oh, okay. You can have them order it then.
I know.
JB will do that for you.
I know. It's just fun to find it in the wild. There's something special about it.
I understand.
And I also picked up, never mind, I don't know what it's called. I'll have to find it. But it looked very like fantasy and they're all like animal characters.
Fun.
Like, okay.
I
picked up Thirsty Mermaids. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
That hardcover is beautiful. That's a big hardcover.
Okay, I haven't seen it in real life because I read it digitally.
Oh man, hey Elliot.
I want to buy it.
Elliot, can you? I know you're probably busy, but can you walk to the downstairs and go grab the book Thirsty Mermaids? It's on the Kotatsu.
It's funny. I
need to show her how big it is.
Because one, I really want to get it, but two, you know what we talked about doing next month? I was thinking of that book.
Well, let's do it because
it's perfect, right?
It's such a
it gives me a reason to buy it.
That's one of my new favorite series. I swear it's my Coco statue. Oh, Carly, I want it. I want that statue. I'm so in love with Witch Hat Atelier. It's so good. It's so good. It's so
I need
beautiful.
to catch up to it.
It's so beautiful. And so now that I've read that, I want more books like that, the same style.
Yeah.
Where it's just, And I want her other book too. I keep almost making an in-stock trades order to order her other book and also order those poster portfolios.
Do it. And then also get delicates for 45% off this week.
I wish, I need to go halvesies on those poster portfolios because I'm like, I don't need all of them. But so I'm like, okay, if I buy these, I can keep them as gifts for people because I'm not going to put the Batman posters up. I don't know who I'm fooling. It's going to be all the ladies again. All my house it's just posters of ladies.
There's also so many in one
There's
of those.
So many in them. But they're so good.
Yeah.
And then Peach Momoko just dropped a Marvel one.
I was just going to say that.
But she has a Horizon Zero Dawn one coming out later in the year. Thank you. Do you want to peek your head in? You're just going to do... You can just see your arm. It's going to look like you're jerking it. You were dancing. I couldn't think that.
You ran.
Look.
Oh, it's very nice. Ooh, nice spot gloss.
Let me pick up Utena so you have a reference.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a big.
I love it.
That's big.
It's a wide baby.
Yeah, and like I only picked it up because you mentioned it. But the pages are very nice, matte. I will say it's a little bit pricier. It's $30.
It's worth it.
But I'm so excited to read it. It's so big.
I'm really leaning toward that for next month. So
this is not going to match my shelf at all. This is going to fit in there weird. But it is what it is.
Worth it. That's a cool spine.
That's
nice
a cool spine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see what it looks like under the jacket.
That's
nothing.
I mean,
there's nothing.
That may be my favorite read this year so far. It was fantastic.
Elliot, for the record, I wasn't jerking it.
Just so we got the record.
He was danced like this. But hey, if we get canceled, we'll just, it gives us an excuse to start our own YouTube channel, I guess.
Yeah, we're just what did we call it? What were we gonna call it?
Wasn't it dicking around?
Yeah, that's right. Maddie and Kristan.
Man, if we did it though, I think what I want it to be is like, I want it to be like My Favorite Murder, where we have just
tangents.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the same. I was doing it out, but like the first frame is just like life update. Yeah. It's just like rambling, and then we get onto like the book.
Yeah,
and then
when we talk about the book, it's like 10 minutes.
And then we can just steal everything else they do, like the corrections corner.
Yeah, yes, I did say Sidebar Nation earlier, which I
You did. And then oh man, so good. Instead of having mini-sodes, we just like can read a book somebody sends in or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Or we get recommendations from people.
Yeah.
Or we give recommendations. That'd be fun.
Ooh, yeah. See, I always like, I wanted, like, a show that I've always wanted to do, or something I want to do like in person at a con as a panel, is give comic book recommendations based on someone's like favorite show or like manga or video game or whatever. Because like you and I've talked about before that like comics are like any other medium. There's gonna be something that works for you. Like, so I'd love to be like, okay, well, my mom really likes this. I want her to read comics. Like, what do you think she'd like?
Yeah, that's like my favorite stuff to listen to too. Like podcasts, like I listen to tons of that, and it's the best. And I always think, you know what? Okay, so leave a comment below if y'all want some recommendations. Tell us what you're looking for.
Yeah, or we can do a whole show.
That would be fun.
We would also need to take some like some applications or like some of these like pre-sent in, so we'd have some ready. Otherwise just us being like,
looking around for books that we own. Yeah, 100%. We gotta do that before. But that'd be fun.
Yeah, I would like that. I miss a few minutes to suddenly Elliot's jerking it. The show took a turn. Tyler says, I recently started my manga deep dive a few months ago, currently reading Urasawa books. Yes. FMA, JoJo's, and more, all for the first time. Do you ladies have any must-reads to recommend? Well, first of all, you're killing it.
Yeah, because my must-read would be Monster.
Monster, 100%.
Urasawa books.
And Fullmetal Alchemist, wonderful. JoJo's, I've never read, only watched the anime, but I like it. Oh, man.
I'm like looking around now.
Chainsaw Man.
100%. So if you don't have the Shonen Jump app,
get the Shonen. Oh yeah. So
we gotta plug that every time.
All right, Tyler.
You're gonna get all your Viz Shonen and 100% read Chainsaw Man. You're gonna fly through it, and it's a blast and absolutely bonkers in like the best way. So you have to do that.
The Shonen Jump app is like so good.
And it's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, Chainsaw Man. Carly said Jujutsu Kaisen, absolutely. Promise Neverland, also great.
Yes.
Hunter x Hunter. I could go forever, really.
I mean, if you haven't, well, maybe horror's not your thing, but Ito, if it is, of course, do that. Oh,
Tyler. So Tyler liked his favorite manga anime was Yu Yu Hakusho of all time. So probably Hunter x Hunter if you haven't read it, because it's by the same guy. But is on hiatus forever. So there's that, which isn't great. Tyler, yes! Tyler, did you know?
I'm even more behind.
Okay. We are currently reviewing One Piece arc by arc this year. So you can hang out with us in the chat. We'll be back on Saturday morning if you feel like waking up and drinking some coffee and chilling with us.
At 9 a.m. Eastern? Is that right?
Yeah, 9 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
But we're talking about Thriller Bark.
Yes. And
The
I need
Thriller
to
Bark
finish
arc.
it.
I will read it all Friday.
I can't, there's something about One Piece, I just can't do it. We've talked about it before, but I cannot
Yeah, well,
zoom through it,
I can't do the other arcs like that, but I know I can do Thriller Bark.
That's fair.
So
it is shorter than like every other arc I think we've done.
Yeah, so the rest is gonna be a lot different. But I'm excited. Did you watch? Okay, don't forget to watch that one episode before reading that chapter.
I haven't got to the chapter yet, so I'm waiting for the chapter, and then I'm gonna do the episodes. And if I can't get to it before, I gotta get to it. I don't know. I keep thinking, I'm like, when can I? It's Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
I kept waiting for myself to get to the
I keep thinking it's Thursday.
I'm very confused on days right now.
I just want to take this whole week off. I just need a break.
Well, and I had last week off, so I'm just messed up.
I forgot that you had last week off.
And then this was my first day back on days. I do day shift tomorrow. Friday, I do second shift. Overnights on the weekend, which is why we're having a crazy early show. So I'm just going to be back to be.
Sorry about our weird schedule.
It's my fault.
Well, no, because we had to cancel one show because of potentially people on the wrong side of the comic book community.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Coming to harass us.
So we were able to fit them in.
But they got over it because, they do.
For now.
It's like watching this video. Probably. Also, Spy Family. Yes. Spy Family. So good. So good. Kenneth's picking up Batgirl Returns omnibus. Nice. Star Wars Dark Empire Epic Collection. X-Men Fate of the Phoenix Epic Collection. All next from stock trades.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Great haul.
Nice. Well, I guess that's it. Oh, we killed it, really.
I mean, I agree. And overall, if you guys didn't hear it.
Oh, God, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. We do recommend
this box set. It's beautiful.
And don't forget, there's a little spicy poster inside.
I will never put that anywhere in my house, but
I don't know why I'm doing that. Middle school me would lose it. She'd be like, "You're kidding. What?
What are they? What? They don't have. What's happening?" But yeah, and you can get it for a great price on InStockTrades.com, our great sponsor. Check them out. Also, go get Delicates, which is the sequel to Sheets. It's out now. It's like $8 or something.
Yeah,
on InStockTrades.com. Extra percentage off this week only. I'm going to make an order. I don't know about you guys. Maddie sure should.
My promotion kicks in finally on Monday.
Yes.
I would tell you guys what my really cool title is, but I can't do that.
Treat yourself.
All right. We will see you guys. We'll be back on Saturday in the morning, 9 a.m. So that's Coffee with Fangirls. I'll try to post some social media before so you guys will remember. And so I'll remember. We'll be talking about Thriller Bark. So just wake up. Shut up, Elliot. So just wake up. Have some coffee and breakfast with us. We'll talk about Thriller Bark. Y'all can tell us about your weekend. Whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Hang out.
Just hanging out. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for being